Hello, I'd like to discuss the alien megastructure that has been recently theorized on the internet and the news. This is not a sudden occurrence for this or a sudden revelation. From the beginning of telescopic observation, and as soon as like a couple people received PhDs in astrophysics, and as soon as there was that first astronomy student, people have been searching for the Dyson sphere, and there was a name given to it. This is not something that's new or even speculation. This is the real notification from the academic world that you're ever going to get. They're not going to explain it twice. They're not going to sit you in a chair, hold you in the hand, and yell at you, and then you deny it 3 times, and then on the 4th time you're going to accept it. When it first came out, they were pretty sure that it was a Dyson sphere, a structure. Then they released it to the news. They looked at it with a telescope. We don't think it's a Dyson sphere because of this, that, and the other. Well, there's been another investigation of this star in the records from the Smithsonian, and this star has been occluding the whole time. In other words, an intelligence has been building step by step all the way through this structure. So it's not a recent swarm of comets or randomness. So then people are starting to get that and maybe discuss among themselves with other people, well, if this is aliens, then where are they? Then you hear this comparison of, well, it's equivalent to us walking above an ant colony. Maybe we weren't going to stop and converse with the small insects there. There could be a case made that possibly some of their technology is already here. We have this evidence of the Black Knight satellite in orbit. Some of the pictures of this nicknamed object are very, very intriguing. So you have to wonder, okay, so if there's an object in orbit, where are the civilization? Where's the home world? The Dyson sphere. So then, okay, so that's the Fermi paradox. If there's a calculation with various formulas to find the alien civilizations, where are they? So what you have is the Drake equation predicts a lot of civilizations. Then it comes into the Fermi paradox. Where are the aliens, the civilizations and the aliens? Then you get into people like Hoyle, who ran the calculations a long time ago. If you notice everything in the particles of the universe and just start running the numbers, that first enzyme that you would need for life, where would it come from? So you run the numbers, and there's not enough particles in the universe to create the first enzyme ever. Okay, so maybe it would happen once. But what you find out is that you're going to have multiple collisions in multiple places, and having those come together, and the mathematics come out, and that's where you get life arising. It's impossible to only occur in one place, because it would never happen in one place. So that's the Drake equation, right? The Fermi paradox, and the origination of the first organic molecule arising to the first enzyme. Okay, so this is a website that is produced by an Emmy award-winning journalist who has a master's in education for communication from Stanford. Linda Howe's website, she's reporting, one of the reporters on the Dyson sphere. It seems to have fallen off the mainstream media when someone was trying to debunk it. But the data is that this is the real Dyson sphere. It's some of the predictions that there are alien civilizations out there, and this is one of the locations. It's far away for us. It's probably not far away for them. Knowing how the universe works, they could probably get here, and they probably have technology here already. So, there are other stars nearby. Other journalists are reporting on, and they're giving speculation of, there could be life on these closest stars. Starting to come together. So, in Gemini 12, there was an object that was photographed in Earth orbit. And if you blow up some of the pictures of the Gemini projects, you begin to see something that, is probably technology that would not likely be created by our civilization, but probably someone else's civilization. And it's in higher Earth orbit, and you can zoom in on it and check it out. That's the Black Knight satellite. Okay, in Apollo 10, there's this picture that was found, and this has been called Black Knight, Dark Knight satellite. When you look at this, you realize that knowing what we know about the seen and unseen, this could be something that is normally all hidden and parts of the working inner mechanism of a flight vehicle was revealed, like, temporarily for some reason. If you recall the story of the Trojan War, when Athena helped a mortal wage battle, she gave him an eyepiece that allowed him to see the unseen world with instructions not to attack the gods. Of course, the mortal, as soon as he put on the glasses, immediately attacked and killed, some of the gods. And so after the Trojan War, they fled to the coast of Italy and formed the basis of the Republic of Rome. And after some doing, they became a Roman military dictatorship. That's another story. The point is, with like some sort of low-grade technology, you could reveal the hidden world, and some of these pictures and some of our technology brush up against these things. There's a new telescope that is in the media, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, that's revealing the hidden world. So this is photographed from the space shuttle that's been known as the Black Knight satellite. And if you run these pictures through some enhancements and blow them up, what you see is something that looks partially hidden. Possibly there's some other parts of this that are hidden from our technology. This is something photographed from the International Space Station. And again, I've run it through some enhancing software and tried to dial it in, and it looks the same. The distance is different, but these are all Black Knight satellite from every small advanced technology that we have. And what they reveal is a picture of some other technology in Earth's orbit that is possibly from a nearby star or the Dyson sphere. And they're probably more into what we can't even conceive of right now. Possibly not even concerned at all. The Dyson sphere is 1,500 light years away, so if they're traveling faster than light, they could get here at any time in our history or our future. So that doesn't have to be a barrier. So what this is a film clip from a news channel of a flying car that some people would say this is a UFO technology. This is not in the United States. It's a guy in his garage who took some physics classes and built essentially what we would call a UFO. Alright, so the Drake equation, the Fermi paradox, and the law of Panspermia, and we have persons on planet Earth building essentially UFO technology, and we have the Dyson sphere. What you're probably wondering is not all of the qualified people are going to be in charge of any kind of scientific lab or politicians or schools or anything like that. We all have to figure this out for ourselves, and the best qualified people are not in those positions. What has been found recently is that using a Santilli telescope, which utilizes the concave lens, we could see some of the things previously hidden from the convex lens telescopes or the reflecting telescopes. The concave lens telescopes are used in night vision goggles and whatnot, and these can reveal some of these objects to us. You could build them yourself, just order them online. You can find my research on the Drake equation, the Fermi paradox, and the laws of Panspermia. I propose a hypothesis on Panspermia. An upcoming book, I'm going to actually detail out what I think is a law of Panspermia. The last book was a thesis on astrobiology. I'm actually going to kind of dress out a hypothesis in astrophysics, a lot more math, probably some equations, but you can get my last book, DNA of the Gods. There's a book before that, it was called Code of Prometheus, and you could get some of the research there. I think the main one is that with a low technology lens, a whole world could be revealed. In other words, all the animals on our planet evolved from fish, and fish were in the water. So the way our eyes work, we have a convex lens, like a typical magnifying glass, and the cones and rods of our eyes focus on what we can see underwater, and all the animals on Earth have that same type of vision system, and the brain puts together. Well, like the story of Athena, where Athena gives the glasses to a fighter in the Trojan War, you could use a concave lens system to reveal things that you would never see. And let's say you put one side by side, like a concave telescope and a convex telescope. Get two tubes the same diameter and just get one with a concave lens and one with a convex lens, and an eyepiece for a normal telescope, and you can probably see these things. People with really high-end night vision goggles can look up in the sky, and it looks like planet Coruscant up there from Star Wars, with all the UFO traffic and everything. But what needs to be, and that's the Santilli telescope, but what needs to be kept in mind, and probably not what they're telling you, the least thing that could be going on with this planet is that there's a Dyson sphere. Okay, what they're not telling you is that something that is occluding a star greater and greater and greater is an object moving towards you. So we should be seeing blue shifted wavelengths of light coming towards us. In other words, you should know that this might be an advance warning of an armada, an overrunning force that's been coming towards us for the last 100 years. So maybe they're going faster than the speed of light, using technology we could probably guess at. A lot of things. Maybe they're using wormholes. That's why they're going in and out, resting their engines every so many distances. But it's getting, it's as if something's getting closer to us from that star, and that's what you would see if there was an approaching armada. I don't know if they're going to crash the wedding here, crash our party, exploit us, but it could be something far more profound than they're constructing a few solar panels around their star.